Hey guys, what's up? We're here at North Marcum, and this is the last day of 2024, and it is windy, wet, pretty cool, like 45-degree day. And Shauna's gonna take a walk, and she wants to show off this. I'll show the back too.
Yeah,
and
this is my medal for walking, what was it, 94 miles? I don't remember exactly, but anyway, oh, 98 miles, it says it right there. Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, when Shauna first got into these like Conqueror challenge medals, they're kind of goofy to me, because it's like it's like you do this. I mean, Shauna does it's all real, I mean, she's not just like putting miles in and she's walking and kayaking and riding a bike. She's doing the miles, but it's not like a real event, but now that she's done a bunch of them, I have a few thoughts on it. I'm going to say real quick. First off, I've spent lots more money than she has on cycling events, and I have one medal, and it's because I won a race in 2015, and that one medal is not very impressive. It's like something you could get at any trophy shop for like $2 or something. So anyway, point being is that I've never received anything as nice as these medals that she gets from Conqueror's challenge, and she's got a bunch of them. And so, like, she's done the Lord of the Rings. That's the second Lord of the Rings one. And then she's done a lot of like Highlands, and then Tokyo.
Yeah, the Highlands was a 500-mile one. It took me 6 months.
It's a long one.
Yeah, it was a lot of kayaking. I did that one through the summer. And then right now I'm actually doing London. So
my opinion on these things, after thinking about it for a while, I mean, they're like, what, about $30?
The $30 for like the real places.
Yeah.
And then the more what would you call it, licensed ones?
The licensed ones,
because they have like the Harry Potter series, and Lord of the Rings, and they actually have Star Trek now too, so that's really cool.
The intellectual
but they're
properties.
A little bit more. They're a little bit more money, but so
besides besides getting a medal,
it's a motivator.
She gets a lot of motivation. She gets these like kind of updates along the route, that you're walking, which is kind of cool, like seeing like different places in the Highlands, and like you get postcards, from different areas. You're getting them postcards from London now, right? And they're digital postcards. But anyway, long story short, I don't think they're corny. They're not really for me. I got plenty of motivation from myself. But if you needed something to keep you going, I mean, I'd like to get these awards, like if they charge an extra $10 to do, say, a bike race, and they're like, oh, by the way, we'll give you a cool medal, then if you finish the race, then I'm like, yeah, I would definitely pay a little bit more money to get that, cool medal, to have a little memento or something. So I like them, and I apologize for thinking they're lame. So I think that Shauna probably wouldn't be out here on this horrible day. So she's going to walk, and I'm going to try a little bit of trail jogging and see how that goes. I got a new shirt to try out, and so let's go. It is so windy and cold out here. Okay, so a lot of people ask me, they should ask me, they're like, Matt, you are so cheap, and yet you always seem to have some kind of nice stuff. So how's that happen? So I'll tell you about this. This is the Spider Core sweater. I got this at a Goodwill yesterday for $16, which is kind of high at a Goodwill, but like as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's not a normal piece of gear. There's something special about that. I didn't know the Spider brand, but it's pretty easy, like, to look at something, I think, and be able to tell, like, oh, that's good, or that's cheap, And so when I looked at this, I was like, that thing's good, and it's pretty heavy. So I found out Spider is a ski company, and this is a ski sweater, so this would probably be kind of like an insulation wear. So I would imagine, like you would wear and a base layer, this, and then some kind of shell jacket over the top of that. And you could probably be really warm in some pretty cold weather. So right now it's 40 something degrees. I have just this sweater on. Oh, it's very windy too. It's 40 something degrees. And I have this sweater, and I have a very thin merino wool shirt that I got at Goodwill also, which was like $4 because it was pretty old. And I'm actually very warm, surprisingly warm. This thing, it'd probably be almost too warm. So I thought, I've been kind of wanting to do trail running. I used to trail run. Now when I say run, I'm going to say something here. This is a vlog, so this is just me talking, telling stories and stuff. So if it gets boring, just fast forward or turn it off. But anyway, I was doing a bike tour once with some of my friends that live in other places, and this was probably around 2000. I don't know what year it was. I'm gonna guess 2011, 2012. And I'd gotten into jogging a lot around that time. And I've never really jogged in my life, but I got into jogging. I was jogging every morning, and I just started around that time. And I remember telling them I was, you know, like, I'm not very fast, but I'm doing like 15-minute miles. And I remember they looked at me, especially, well, both of them looked at me, and this one, JC, laughed, and Jane, she's like, "You're walking. 15 minutes is a mile is walking." And I'm like, "No, I'm jogging." Like, so that always, I mean, like, didn't hurt my feelings. I'm not crying about it, but at the same time, it always aggravated me because, like, I don't know, I had been doing quite a bit of jogging, and it had taken me a while to go from 20-minute miles to 15-minute miles. I mean, it wasn't nonstop jogging, but it was pretty close to nonstop jogging. You know, I was, very slow still, but, and so, like, I just found that to be, like, yeah, okay, maybe for you, that's walking, but for me, it's jogging. And that's something that I think we all need to kind of keep in mind, whatever sport that we're talking about. So if somebody's like proud of themselves and they're like, "Hey, I just did my first 15-mile bike ride, and it took only, like, say, an hour and a half or something," and I'm like, "Well, you only averaged 11 miles an hour, that's barely riding or something." That's just rude. So we all need to keep that in mind. But anyway, yeah, very warm. So I would really love to come out here and get into jogging again on this trail. I think it would keep it in better shape, keep me in better shape, and sometimes just getting a mountain bike out to come out here for an hour or less isn't really even worth it. So, but yeah, I lost the most weight in my life when I started that morning routine of getting up, and I would either do about, my GoPro died. I forgot to charge it, and I'm doing something I just don't normally do, which is using my phone. And I'm gonna be really disappointed if the phone ends up being better. So this is the front camera, or not the front, but the rear facing camera. I'm gonna flip it around and try the front facing camera. I hardly ever use my phone for video, and it's just kind of stupid because I always have, I usually have it. Let's try it. Okay guys, so happy to report I'm loving this sweater. The deer just walked through a section. They have like been all over this trail, which is great because it wouldn't exist if the deer weren't walking on it. I don't think I walk on it or use it enough, and I don't think anybody else is, but at least I'm making a good path for the deer. But yeah, this sweater is awesome. Like, I think it's like a $200 sweater, so I'm sure it's not really worth that, but it's blocking the wind, it's keeping heat in, so it kind of almost feels like, and it's insulated, it feels almost kind of like a all-in-one layer, I think. So very comfortable, and just one simple jacket, shirt, and a thin merino wool base layer. Altogether $20 in Goodwill. So sweet. All right, I think I'm done. Have a great, signing out. I'm signing out for 2024. Have a great New Year's, and I look forward to more videos in the coming future. Goodbye. Deer, see, deer everywhere. See all those deer tracks down there? What do they do when they get here? Looks like they go up the hill like I do, and more of them though are going this way.